The Kryllian Empire offered us a choice. It was either the most generous or the cruelest thing any species had ever done. My name is Admiral Sarah Chen, and I was commanding Earth's defensive fleet when the Kryllian arrived. They outnumbered us 50 to 1. We had perhaps 6 hours before they could breach our planetary shields and begin orbital bombardment. That's when their signal came. "We do not wish to destroy your species," the Kryllian commander stated, "but we require your territory for expansion. We offer a trade. We will spare your people. All 8 billion humans will be relocated to colony worlds. You will be free to build civilizations, to prosper, to exist." "And the price?" I asked, knowing there had to be one. "Your cultural artifacts, your art, your music, your literature, your history, everything that defines your civilization's identity. Give us that, and humanity survives." The bridge went silent. The Kryllian were asking us to give up everything that made us human, in exchange for survival. They saw it as a fair trade. Keep your bodies, lose your soul. I had 6 hours to decide for 8 billion people. I called an emergency council, world leaders from every nation, scientists, artists, philosophers. I laid out the choice: physical survival without cultural identity, or potential extinction with everything that made us human intact. The debate lasted 2 hours. Then Dr. Maya Patel, a poet and professor from Mumbai, stood up. "We're asking the wrong question," she said. "The Kryllian think culture is decorative, something you can remove and leave the species intact. They don't understand that culture is what makes us human, that art and music and stories aren't luxuries. They're the reason we survive at all." "So what do you propose?" asked the Brazilian president. "We reject their offer and fight a battle we can't win." "No," Maya said. "We make them a counteroffer." I turned to her. What counteroffer could possibly— "We offer them everything we have," Maya interrupted. "Not just our art, our science, our technology, our weapons, our colonies, everything. Complete surrender of Earth and all human settlements. But we keep our culture, we keep our stories." The room erupted. "You're proposing extinction," someone shouted. "I'm proposing," Maya said calmly, "that we tell the Kryllian that the only thing worth keeping from humanity is not our bodies or our technology. It's our culture, because culture is how species survive, not physically, meaningfully." I understood what she was saying. I transmitted the counteroffer to the Kryllian. Their silence lasted 17 minutes. I thought they would simply attack, that we had insulted them with an incomprehensible response. Then their commander requested direct communication. He was a Kryllian commander, but he had requested human appearance translation. What appeared on my screen looked almost confused. "You are offering us complete surrender of all human territory and technology," he said, "but you wish to retain only culture." "Yes," I confirmed. "Your art, your stories, your music. You consider these more valuable than your planets, your weapons, your survival?" "We consider them the only things worth surviving for," I said. The Kryllian commander made a sound that might have been shock. "I do not understand this valuation. Culture produces nothing, provides no strategic advantage, contributes nothing to expansion or defense." "No," I agreed. "It doesn't, but it tells us who we are, and that matters more than anything else." Something changed on the commander's face, or rather in the way he held himself, a kind of realization. "You would rather lose everything," he said slowly, "than lose your stories." "Yes." "Even knowing that without your technology or territory, your species may face extinction within generations?" "Yes." Another long silence. "The Kryllian have conquered 47 species," the commander said finally. "We have taken their worlds, their resources, their technology. We have preserved them as populations, but we never understood why they seemed broken after we took everything." He looked directly at me. "Now I understand. They were broken because we took their stories. We took the things that told them who they were, and we left them empty." He paused. "I am going to make a proposal to the Kryllian Empire. We will take your technology and your territory. But we will establish a cultural preservation zone. Earth will be sealed as a human settlement. You will be allowed to keep your libraries, your museums, your cultural centers, because I think we have been destroying the only truly valuable thing species possess." He closed the channel. 3 days later, the Kryllian fleet withdrew. They took every piece of human technology they could find, every weapon, every spacecraft. They claimed all our colony worlds. We were left with Earth, just Earth. No off-world resources, no technological advantage, nothing but our planet and our stories. And we survived. We had to rebuild everything from scratch. It took 200 years to re-establish space travel, 300 to reclaim our colonies. But we did it because we had something the Kryllian had taken from every other species they conquered. We had our stories. We had art that told us who we were, music that connected us across generations, literature that explained our values, culture that defined our identity independent of our circumstances. And that, I learned, is what makes a species truly unbreakable. 50 years after the trade, the Kryllian commander made contact again. He was ancient by then. Probably wouldn't have survived to see this, but the Kryllian preserved consciousness across generations. "I need to know," he said, "why your species values story above survival." I thought about how to answer. "Because story is survival," I said finally. "You can take our worlds, you can take our technology, you can even take our lives. But if you take our stories, you take the one thing that makes those lives matter. And a life that doesn't matter isn't worth living." The commander was quiet for a long moment. "The Kryllian have conquered the galaxy," he said. "But I think we have never actually won anything, because victory requires understanding what is worth winning, and we have never understood what species actually value." He looked at me directly. "Perhaps that is why you will inherit this galaxy, not us. Not because you are stronger, but because you understand that stories matter, that meaning matters, that culture is not decoration, but foundation." The Kryllian Empire eventually fell, not through conquest, but through cultural dissolution. They had stolen so much from so many species that eventually they forgot who they were. Humans who kept our stories no matter what eventually rose to become the cultural heart of the galaxy, not through weapons, through refusing to value anything above meaning.